All right. So, Jay, thank you very much for taking the time to join this video interview. So let's start from the beginning, right? So, if you could please, give a quick introduction to your DC, and we can get started there, and then we can dive into the problem you're trying to solve, and go from there. So, what do you guys do?
Okay. So my name is Jay Nardo. I'm the general manager for the Northeastern Distribution Center.
Got it. So what are those products? Is it like the oil?
So we manage drums, pails, kegs, and cases of the grease and the oil.
Okay, so these are the engine oil that we use in our cars and stuff like that?
That would be correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it. So basically, you guys ship orders on behalf of, and then who are some of your customers? I mean, is it like Costco?
Walmart, AutoZone, Costco, Sam's Club, Advanced Auto Parts, multiple distribution centers within our network. But those are our big ones.
Got it. So what are some of the challenges that you guys were having? What were some of the frustrations? Approximately how much money you were losing, and how did it all, oh man, we got to have this, we got to fix this problem.
Well, the biggest problem we had would be loads that were leaving the site, and we had our loads leaving, and they were braced appropriately, and they looked good. They would arrive, and they were not. So not as one would expect them. So we had to ensure that our customer understood that we were doing everything in our power to ensure that our loads were properly braced and the product was sound when it left my facility. So the money spent in terms of additional resources with multiple factors involved in that, and of course our customers' dissatisfaction with loads that did not look right when they arrived to the customer. And then some of their customers, for example, like a Walmart, they do not accept loads that look bad. So they were losing money in terms of transportation and then rejected loads. And we had to ensure that it did leave here sound.
Got it. So basically, Walmart, and are these loads, is it a one point A to point B, or is it like an LTL, or what is this, process like?
It's a combination. We do parcel, we do LTL, we do full truckload. Walmart can be a full truckload, for example, or it can be a multi-stop going to multiple DCs within the Walmart network, as well as many other customers of ours as well. AutoZone, Advance, any of them. It can be either full truckload or LTL.
Got it. And how many loads, for example, how many loads you guys would ship per week, and then how many would get rejected? How many you had this issue with? What were the like?
Yeah, going back early on, so we've had LoadProof now for some time, but early on, probably I would say 10% of the loads were rejected due to issues that were found in transportation that may have been attributed to the site until we, of course, had purchased LoadProof, and we could say, no, not an issue for the site. So our typical complement of outbound loads weekly, somewhere 100 and 150, roughly 100, let's say 100 loads outbound.
Okay.
Roughly.
And 10% of that would get rejected. Basically, you guys will lose money on the product, right? If a load gets rejected, I would think you have to haul it.
That's correct.
Right?
That is correct. So transportation costs, and then certainly our labor that would have to go into unloading the trailers and putting the material back in stock, and then our customer dissatisfaction. That was the most important thing to us.
So your customers are turning around and saying, "Oh my God, I trusted you guys are the best in the business, logistics business,
Mm-hmm.
and I gave it to you, and this is what I get." Right? It's obviously not a good conversation to have. That was the problem you guys were trying to solve.
Well, absolutely. We wanted our customer to feel comfortable in the knowledge that the material that they've entrusted to our care to deliver to their customer was leaving our site as they would have expected. If it did not arrive as expected, it was nothing related to what we failed to do or chose not to do at the site level.
Got it. And so what happened? So you guys saw the problem. Oh my God, then
Mm-hmm.
what exactly happened after that?
Well, LoadProof was brought to our attention, and what we really liked about the program is it's very easy to use, very, very simple. You can use it on your phone, you can use it on a tablet, you can use it on your desktop. We like the portability of the phone, since we have a fairly good-sized facility and multiple operators finishing loads at the same time. So having the phones, they can just easily pop them out, take the multiple pictures, enter the load information, and ease of retrieval. That's fantastic for us. So when we do have, they call them service requests, and that's basically a complaint stating there might be an issue with the load, and it's related to a shifted load, for example, or damaged product in shipment. We just pull up our pictures. Everything is right there. We snap the pictures, every completed load, and then throughout the load, we take pictures and we can show them that this is exactly as it should have been when it left our site. So there's no culpability for my team and myself.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So now we are able to pull the pictures and then show, hey, look at these pictures. This is what we this is when we shipped the load, or when the load left our facility.
That is correct. Yes. And then we no longer there's no financial responsibility or obligation on our part because it left the site as expected. We did our part as our customer would expect based on their standard operating procedure and our own, of course.
Got it. And approximately how many dollars you guys saved, approximately, right? What is the number like? I mean, 10 loads is pretty big number. I mean, that's a...
Well, it is. I would say I do not have a dollar figure for you, but I'm sure we've saved tens of thousands of dollars with the advent of LoadProof for our site.
Got it.
And then, of course, peace of mind, which you cannot put a price on, knowing that our customer trusts us to deliver their product as expected. That's priceless in our business.
Exactly. The relationship is so much better now. At the
Much better.
Exactly. And how, what are some of the other benefits, right? I mean, this is great. Apart from that, we have had several other things that from our other sites that are using LoadProof. What are some of the benefits that you guys, accrued as you started using LoadProof?
Well, the only other benefit would be that if we saw a gap in training, so if, for example, I pull a picture of a new employee who is working on a load, and I can see bracing, for example, is not as it would be, that exposes to me a training gap with that particular operator. So you are preventing something solidifying in their mind in terms of how to load because it's incorrect. So it's really helped us in our training for our associates. That's been a big plus. It has actually helped in terms of shoring up our bracing. So we use both airbags and we use load boards and the logi sticks for our loads. So we had found that some of the loads, even with the design protocols from our customer, that we probably needed to increase our airbags, for example, or our placement for our load board. So it helped us to streamline our loading practices as well.
Got it. So now we are able to have a conversation. Hey, all right, we have shown, we have done our job, right? Okay, what is going wrong? Why is it, getting messed up by the time you get to the customer? So how can we, do this, packing or whatever, shrink wrapping, whatever better, right? That's where the conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a very good point. So it did show that some of our other sites, not my particular company site, but others that feed into us, that, their shrink wrap is not to their standard. So, for example, it should be a 5 wrap up, a 5 wrap down, and it's not. It's a 2 wrap or a 3 wrap. So we're able to show them that this, and we would also use it on the inbound. Or if we receive loads to our site that the material was off or damaged or there was some issue related to their load. So it allows them to understand, okay, this is the problem we're facing. So this might be why I have a bit more overtime this week, because I've had 4 loads, for example, this week that came in shifted and material is jumbled on the in the trailer. And we're going to have to spend a little more time with that. So it just, again, it goes back to our customer is comfortable knowing that we're always doing the right thing for them and for their product and for their customers. Exactly. At the end of the day, that's very important.
Yeah. So you guys originally started using it for outbound, and then realized, oh my God, we can use it in inbound as well. So we can give feedback to whoever is shipping to us, saying that, hey, look at it. This is how it showed up when we received it, when we opened the door, and what you guys can do better in terms of packing, so we don't receive it like this.
Absolutely. That's exactly correct. So we're able to use it both inbound and outbound, and that is how we today.
Okay. So now you're saving money both on the inbound and outbound. I mean, so because of that feedback, now those guys are doing a better job loading it, so you're not spending time and money on overtime and all those things.
Yes, and I think it's also very valuable for our customer. We do not determine the transportation routes they take, nor do we determine the carriers they utilize. However, they can look at the information we're providing as well as our other sites that use LoadProof. And is there a correlation between carriers and shifted loads? So it allows them to have a little deeper dive into their own transportation issues and what may be causing it. Or if it is a particular carrier, let's isolate this group and work with them to improve or relocate the route and or bring in a different carrier. So it's good for them too.
Exactly. Okay. So how would you describe this transformation, right? I mean, you guys started with having all these issues, and then you started using LoadProof. I mean, are you sleeping better? Is the team working much more cohesively now? What are some of the things?
No, it does. The team does work better, and it's lovely that we do have a repository for all of our information, so anybody can track and anybody can pull the info that they may need. There is. And it's also, again, I go back to the whole trust issue, not only with our customer, but within the team. They know they have to follow certain processes and procedures, so we're not cutting corners. It's documented. I mean, it's physically documented, the work that you do. So I think it does instill in our team members, I really have to follow the correct procedures at all times and ensure that the work I'm doing is accurate to our standards.
Exactly. Okay, so that's good. That's I mean, it's what do you call it? Right now we have a team that we can solve any problem that comes our way. With this tool. That's a great morale to have, right?
It is, really is.
So how would you recommend LoadProof to other people? What are your thoughts? Why should
I would have?
Yeah. Someone is watching this video and they're like on the fence? Should I go with LoadProof? What are your recommendations?
I would say go with it. It's a very simple program. It's easy to use, easy to install. It's inexpensive. It's mobile. You can access it from anywhere. If I want to look at a load when I'm at home at 10 o'clock at night because my customer's calling, I can pull it up and I have no issue there. The team members can utilize it. It does improve, I think, overall efficiency of your team because their work is physically documented, and that's very important for them that their name isn't attached to something that's not correct. It saves you time, energy, and money in the long run. At the end of the day, you're going to save time and money. And the biggest piece, as I mentioned a few times, for me is peace of mind, and my customers' confidence in the work that I do for them is to their standards, to their specifications, so they can sleep at night knowing that we got it.
Right. Anything else you would like to add, Jay? I mean, I'm just interested from anybody that is interested or that we recommend. Hey, this is a great tool for you guys. It always starts with ROI, right? And you guys have obviously saved 10,000 or even more per month. 10 loads that are rejected is a pretty big number, and that's a lot of expenses associated with doing all the cleanup. Anything else that you would like to add that would be useful for anybody else that's evaluating LoadProof?
I really can't, other than it's easy to use. You can have somebody who's absolutely lacking in technical proficiency, and it's simply clicking of a button and entering a number or two. If they can dial a phone, they can use LoadProof. It's very, very easy. And I think a lot of folks, they're a little frightened with technology, but this is just easy peasy. Use it. Easy. Wonderful.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you. I will go ahead and stop recording this one.